Let me kiss my son. Let me kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Will on his son. You kiss my son. Daddy, you can't do that no more, baby.
Come on.
Because the little boy was pushing his face like, Daddy, I don't want to kiss you and stuff.
You mentioned this panda eyes. So this is like a society of celebrities that mess with.
Well, yeah, it's a society of the big time celebrities that mess with.
Orlando Brown is once again making some disturbing claims about Will Smith and Jaden. And I know your first instinct is probably to roll your eyes when you see Orlando, but once you start looking at the receipts and analyzing Will and Jaden's relationship, let's just say things start to get really uncomfortable. And this isn't about whether Willie is gay or not. No one cares about that. And let's be real, most of these Hollywood celebrities swing both ways. That's not even the news at this point. But we're talking about something way more sinister here. See, there's this theory that Hollywood celebrities have to sacrifice their offspring and initiate them into this rumored secret club for elites so they can be taken advantage of. Sounds wild, but again, you need to see the actual receipts because this goes way deeper than some online gossip.
It's not no Hollywood thing. It ain't no cool thing to be talking about. This is real shit. When you talk about people that give up sacrifices, bro, the main thing they give up is they boo.
So we all know Orlando Brown's been saying a lot of unhinged stuff for years. And these days, most people just write him off as crazy or attention-seeking. And look, I don't blame them. Orlando's had a lot of public meltdowns, and he often says things for shock value. But here's what's interesting. Lately, it's starting to feel like that might be the whole point. Like maybe Orlando's crazy is just an act. Because a recent interview of his went viral, and he sounded completely normal and coherent. And this was an interview where he broke down this whole theory about this alleged elite secret club and some seriously depraved stuff that goes on behind closed doors. Listen to this.
You mentioned this panda eyes. So this is like a society of celebrities that mess with.
Well, yeah, it's a society of the big time celebrities that mess with. The main person that's one of the leaders who actually did this to my she is big into the sodomy thing, and you know, I waited until I was, you know, in life, I do realize that I have made the decision to not do certain things, which means that I've had to eat certain things, I've had to endure certain things that would allow me to be able to say certain things like this. And not be able to you know, be comfortable about not sleeping at night. But I'm in a comfortable position, and I can tell you that the panda eye thing is definitely something that needs to be rectified, as well as Pornhub. I think that, you know, it's okay to have, you know, an option to buy, and it's okay to, you know, be able to be adult and all that good stuff, but at the same time, I shouldn't be able to have my kid with a phone, and if they just know the name of it, they can just type it in and see whole movies. You know what I'm saying? You know, it should go back to when this stuff started. Everything need to be paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, you know, it's a lot. I know there's a lot of kids running around with credit cards and stuff like that, but still, it's like, it shouldn't be that much access. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're missing. It's like, we need to shut off a lot of access to our younger nation, to where we are growing an astronomical new nation of people that are thinkers and actors and doers and not necessarily preachers and pastors and stuff, but, you know, they're scientists. And
is he lying though? Everything he said makes perfect sense. And keep in mind that Orlando is a former child star, and he started in the industry very young. He was just 8 years old when he got his first credited role playing Cadet Kevin Tiger Dunn in Major Payne. From there, he went on to star in shows like Coach, Moesha, and Sister Sister. He also had a recurring role as 3J on Family Matters starting, but the role that really put him on the map was Eddie Thomas on Disney's That's So Raven. Now, Orlando was mainly a Disney guy, but he also had ties to Nickelodeon. He was part of the cast for a stage production called Oz the Musical that featured other Nickelodeon stars. So you have someone who's been in the industry since he was super young and worked for both Disney and Nickelodeon. That alone should tell you Orlando knows what he's talking about. In fact, it's been rumored that Orlando experienced some trauma himself, and that he's now trying to warn others while playing up the crazy persona to protect himself.
Guns are for punks.
You see, Jay, you got a cool little homie here.
And when you left, Nelson brought the gun to me and told me to take it to the police station and turn it in.
What? You're gonna shoot me?
I don't know what I was gonna do. But I ain't gonna let you punk me like you punch little flunkies. Cooper!
Did you see those eyes? Now listen to this.
So, the eyes come out, and they call them panda eyes. And they do this so you see people with these cigars, and they're you know, all these big celebrities, they all have the cigar in common. That's that big ass thing between their legs that they're sticking in. And it's one big society of it. Now, when it comes down to the selling of they're shipping and trafficking and people, adults, the moms, the dads, right there on Target commercials, right there on Walmart commercials. And you're looking at the people that are missing, and they're smiling like they're happy, but they're going back to hell. And that's really what it is.
So, according to Orlando, many high-profile celebrities who have families are part of this secret society. And allegedly, they offer their own children in exchange for money, fame, and protection. Now, to be clear, I'm not claiming Will Smith is 100% part of this, but I do want to talk about all the allegations that surfaced about him, especially his strange relationship with Jaden. First of all, if you're old enough to know who Professor Griff is, then you know he talked about all this years ago, and he claimed Will himself was a victim of this secret club when he was younger. In fact, Griff alleged that Quincy Jones was the one who supposedly introduced Will to the life of these depraved parties where up-and-coming young actors were pressured to do things with older men. Will actually met Quincy at one of Quincy's house parties when he was around 19, and at this party was also Benny Medina, the record executive who was later accused of SA by actor Jason Dotley. And Medina was the one who introduced Will to Quincy and pitched him the idea for a Fresh Prince sitcom. Quincy then made Will audition on the spot, and he was so impressed that he immediately got his lawyers to draft up a contract. However, there's been a lot of speculation over the years that when Quincy made Will audition, he asked for something more. These speculations stem from long-standing rumors about Quincy being the gay gatekeeper in Hollywood, who allegedly used to throw these secret parties with young actors and singers and much older industry men. There were even rumors that singer Tevin Campbell was allegedly victimized by Quincy. Interestingly, Will actually mentions in his autobiography that he saw Tevin at Quincy's party that night when Quincy made him audition for Fresh Prince. Will writes, "By the time I arrived, the party was on full bang. Everybody was there, from Steven Spielberg to Tevin Campbell." Now, Tevin later denied that Quincy did anything to him. However, the rumors just kept getting louder, and that's when Professor Griff dropped a bombshell and alleged that Quincy had multiple people eliminated to protect this elite society.
When Tupac came to Hollywood, it was the homosexual ritual. This is where the homosexuals came out against me, but I didn't mind. I wasn't talking about homosexuals. I'm saying there's a homosexual ritual that they go through in the Illuminati secret societies. And read where Tupac said he was asked by Quincy Jones to fuck. When Tupac said no, that's when Tupac was marked for death. Why? Because Tupac was engaged to Quincy Jones's daughter. Quincy Jones's daughter was best friend was Aaliyah. Aaliyah was engaged to Dame Dash. Now, if y'all follow these people back, all of them either died or was brought to ruin.
Professor Griff also claimed that Quincy set up this ring in Hollywood and pressured many young male entertainers to participate in his rituals. And then Griff suggested that Will Smith was one of these young men.
That raised some eyebrows with people is when I dropped the information about Quincy Jones. I let the chips fall wherever they fall.
That's right.
This dude was one of the ones responsible. He had a magazine financed by Warner Brothers and the rest of them. He set up sex rings in Hollywood. And the people that he brought in, if y'all tell me if I'm lying, Quincy Jones brought in Fresh Prince. And his first movie was what? 6 Degrees of Separation. Brought in Queen Latifah.
Now, circling back to what Orlando Brown said, he claims that this isn't just a few bad apples, but a whole organized network, and that a lot of these celebrities who were victimized go on to become perpetrators who offer their own children to these elites. Which brings me to Jaden Smith. A lot of people have speculated that something happened to Jaden when he was younger because of the way he acts now. One of them was Jaguar Wright, who alleged that both Jaden and Willow have probably seen some weird things going down in their house, and that's why Jaden wanted to be legally emancipated from his parents at just 15.
Bars.
Cause you trapped in a hole. You trapped in a hole. This clowning you day after day after day after day. And once again, I hate saying these things because their children are dope. But Jaden's kind of MIA. And considering that he emancipated from their household at 16 and refused to come back even to do family interviews. You know?
Yeah.
Willow's just kind of, she's dope. Too much shit happening in the house. Too much shit happening in that house. And meanwhile, I go to jail for defending my child, and these don't even get a CPS visit for the kind of shit they kids see. You know?
And then when you listen to how both Will and Jada talk about parenting, it's clear something is off about this whole dynamic. Will even admitted in one interview that he's gone too far with treating Jaden like an adult instead of a child. And by the way, both Jaden and Willow have publicly called out their parents for giving them too much freedom and pushing them into the industry when they were too young. And then there's the whole Scientology angle. Jaden and Willow briefly attended a private elementary school in 2008 called New Village Leadership Academy, which was actually owned and founded by Will and Jada. Now, Will claimed they simply wanted to create an educational environment in which children have fun learning. However, the school came under scrutiny after it was revealed that it had deep ties to the Church of Scientology. Many of the staff members, including the Director of Learning, Director of Qualifications, and Artistic Director, were all Scientologists. The school's website even mentioned Study Technology, a teaching method developed by Church of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard. The school was quietly closed in June 2013, and though no official reason was given for the closure, the school reportedly began to run into funding problems after parents got wind of its Scientology groundwork. Now, Scientology is a crazy rabbit hole on its own, but it's been alleged that this is basically a front for the same secret club of elites that Professor Griff and Orlando Brown talked about. And this isn't some fringe opinion on Scientology. The Church of Scientology has been involved in many disturbing controversies and scandals over the years, and there are so many former members who came forward with horrific stories of what they experienced there at a young age. So, knowing all this, why would Will and Jada associate themselves with Scientology? Why would they build a whole Scientology school and send their kids there? But then it got even creepier when all these videos surfaced of Will forcefully kissing Jaden on the mouth during public appearances. And if it had happened once or twice when Jaden was young, maybe we could brush it off. But Will kept doing it even when Jaden was already a teenager, and you can clearly see how uncomfortable Jaden was. And look, I know this doesn't necessarily mean there's anything sinister going on. Me personally, I think it's weird to do that at any age. But hey, people have different ways to show affection. Also, Will always had this goofy sense of humor, so this doesn't automatically mean he was doing something weird. But if your son is clearly telling and showing you he's not comfortable with that, why would you force kisses on him? And he's not just giving him a quick peck, he's literally grabbing him by the chin and turning his head. Many fans also pointed out that if Will did this to Willow, everyone would have a problem with it. So why is it okay to do it to Jaden? One person said, "There's something about Will Smith that's very dysfunctional. Not even a mother should kiss her son that way. You can imagine a father. Something about this is sick and twisted as hell." And someone else wrote, "The last time Jaden was when he acted with Jackie Chan. He basically died after that on the altar of satanic Hollywood." But let me know what you think about all this. Do you think Orlando Brown and Professor Griff were telling the truth about that secret society and what they allegedly do to young ones? What do you think really happened to Jaden? Leave your comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.